we all have blocks of what we think we cannot do. We all have limitations we're holding on to. And sometimes you just need that one-on-one, eyes on you to say, great where you are. You're doing fantastic. Please, let's not measure you against the 19-year-old on the mat next to you. Let's measure you against you.
Welcome to the Be It Till You See It podcast, where we talk about taking messy action, knowing that perfect is boring. I'm Lesley Logan, Pilates instructor and fitness business coach. I've trained thousands of people around the world, and the number one thing I see stopping people from achieving anything is self-doubt. My friends, action brings clarity, and it's the antidote to fear. Each week, my guests will bring bold, executable, intrinsic, and targeted steps that you can use to put yourself first and be it till you see it. It's a practice, not a perfect. Let's get started. Hi, Be It Babe. Oh my God. So excited. We've been saying we're going to have her on the pod, OPC teacher, and truly expert in teaching your service in people's homes, Tami-Adrian George, the one and only, truly so excited. She was here at the house filming for OPC, and we have an exciting thing coming out with her, but I really wanted you to hear like how your life can have so many chapters and they all can layer upon themselves. I think sometimes we're so hard on ourselves about like, oh, I went over here, I took this detour. And what you're going to hear in her story is like how everything just layers upon itself and how you can utilize these gifts that you have to do the thing that you want, and it can fulfill you. You can be fulfilled, right? Instead of like trying always to just do the next thing. So here's Tami-Adrian George. I'm so excited that she's on the pod. Thank you so much for being here. All right, Be It Babe. Guess what? We are doing things differently today. Our guest is in the house. Our guest is Tami-Adrian George. She is like the one and only, most fabulous, most amazing. Can't believe the lives this woman has lived. Brad and I have been so honored to know. I don't know that Tami knows this, but we met Tami through agency many years ago. Brad did a call with you and he got off. He's like, I really want to help her. She is amazing. She is such a go-getter. We could do so much with her. And here we are, I don't know, 5 years later, 4 years later, at least I think it's 5. And you have done so much. So Tami, will you tell everyone who you are and what you rock at?
Well, hey there. Yes, it's me, Tami-Adrian George. And it's been quite the adventure. I came into Pilates quite by accident. This was something that was going to save my brain because before that, I had been in high school, competitive dancer, competitive cheerleader, choreographing competitive competitions for other teams. I danced at the Super Bowl, things like that. Then I get out of there, get into college, decide, let's act while we're in the middle of college. Okay, let's do that. So I start modeling and acting. Almost missed my college graduation because I was working so much that I was never in town. I did the entire last year of university via fax. That's how old I am.
Can you believe it that they did that? I'm impressed that they did that.
My professors were really great. So by the time I got to the end, they were willing to sit and talk with me and say, okay, why is it that you're never in class? And I'm like, have you been to the movie theater lately? Then I realized this time that I was on different sets, especially photo shoots in particular, but any set, there's this weird dichotomy that goes on where they want you to fit into the wardrobe, but they have this thing called the craft service table, which is a giant table laden with every food you could ever want that will knock you on your butt with fatigue and sleep, will make you bloat instantly, and you're not allowed to eat any of it.
Right. But yeah. It's there. They fed you. They gave you the opportunity to eat, but you're not supposed to do it.
No. And I was around people with some really terrible eating habits, some really disturbing and dangerous habits. And I realized I need to figure out something to do that I can do while I'm traveling. There's not always a gym available. I can't always go for a run. Sometimes I'm in a country or a state that I've never been in before by myself, and I can't just go for an hour run. And I stumbled into Pilates. And the instructor that I was working with is a wonderful woman named Jacqueline Potter. said, I really think you need to become an instructor. And I'm thinking, my life is so full, I don't have time. But I went ahead and kept doing it, started, oh, this is kind of cool. Oh, I could do this, I could do that. And I realized that by becoming an instructor, I got to learn more and I got to do more. And it was always the thing that kept me grounded. So no matter what set I was on, no matter where I was traveling in the world, I always had Pilates. I always had a stable of clients at places that I was teaching around town, private sessions that I was doing in people's homes. And it gave me the freedom to turn down jobs. I didn't want to do a lot of nudity. I didn't want to do a lot of sex scenes. There were things that I just knew weren't right for me. At the time, this is, the 90s, early 2000s, every person of color was a stripper, sex worker, girlfriend of drug dealer, dead.
You'll be dead girl number 2.
Yeah, that's what happened. You get this great character and you do all this character development, but you're really still secondary. And I was fighting for every part because it wasn't like it is now. And there came a point once I got married, and once I had a son, and I actually killed my husband in a movie. That's how we met. My husband had some serious health issues going on, and I realized I wasn't getting the joy from acting that I was getting from Pilates, from my clients, from helping them get to their goals. When an audition would come through, or sometimes even a booking would come through, I would get this tightness in my chest, like, I don't want to do this job. I just got this particular person through a hip replacement. We're not done yet. And you want me to go sit in hair and makeup for 3 hours? Are you kidding? So eventually the pandemic hit. And I think that's how I found you and Brad at agency. Is I'm home with my husband and my child, but I'm alone and I need connection.
Yeah. We all find ourselves in a place where it's kind of like not a fork in the road, but just like, I can't keep going the way it's going. And I've gone as far as I can go on my own and I need help. And I, just so you all know, like I go every few years, I'm like, okay, I've gone as far as I can with the knowledge that I have. Changes have to be made, shifts. And it's interesting. Thank you for taking us on the journey of like the pendulum swinging of like, first Pilates was there to support you. Then Pilates became something that you did in between jobs. Then it became like, oh, actually, I'm enjoying this more. And how interesting that you're so connected to yourself because of all the work you did, that you could feel like, oh, I'm not getting excited about a booking. Like I should be excited about a booking.
Exactly. And I left out the years that I worked at an urgent care that also had a family practice and a workers' comp suite attached to the medical complex. And I was always hanging out in the physical therapy workers' comp area, looking to see what they were doing. What are you doing now? Why are you doing that? And to see that, oh my gosh, Pilates is physical therapy. It all comes full circle. The exercises that they're teaching are some of the things that I'm learning over here. I don't know about the rest of the country, but I can say in California, physical therapists are not allowed to work on a part of your body that is not in your doctor's prescription.
Sure. That's definitely in the States. Yes.
Period. But the body heals as a unit. The body compensated for your injury, your surgery, whatever you were going through as a whole. So that's why even though you got your knee replaced on the left, your right shoulder is killing you because we're doing these things to balance through the body when we're in pain. So it was interesting for me to see these amazing physical therapists whose hands were tied.
Yeah.
And now they were starting to reach out to Pilates instructors and say, I'm doing this with my patient. Can you supplement them and get them back to whole?
Yeah.
So that's a whole nother part of, what you're doing in your life starts to come in. You're doing everything for a reason. You don't know what it is yet.
I love this. I actually do. You're kind of on the same mindset as I was just in hearing that. Like, I think it's really easy for us to go, oh my God, I wish I'd known this then, or I wish I'd done this now, or I feel like I wasted my time there. And it's like, actually, y'all, if you just take a look at your whole resume, not just the resume you put out for the job that you want, where you've like, let's move with this thing and let's adjust this thing. But if you look at your whole resume, everything you've done has assisted in getting you to where you are. And what you liked about those things, there's commonalities that you can actually borrow from to help you figure out like where do you want to go? Because as Pilates instructors, you and I have had very different careers. You know, I did have some in-person clients. It did not fill my cup. It did not fill my joy, but it feels yours. Like it's like literally the thing that you do. And I think like, had I not ever done in person, I couldn't actually help people who are like, oh my gosh, I go teach in someone's house. I'm like, okay, hold on, because I had to go into someone's house where I definitely, it was at the top of it was in LA. It's like the top of Hillcrest, the last house on the top of Hillcrest. You guys, I'm driving my Mini Cooper and I'm going there. And the security's like, okay, you can come in here, you can go here. You know, the ambassador will meet you in here. And I'm like, what is he the ambassador of? And no one would give me his name. And then like, damn, you're gonna laugh. Then one day the sheriff was just sitting there watching me teach him. And I'm like, I'm sorry, this isn't a viewing show. You can work out too. Like you're just going to work out because I'm not going to be watched by the sheriff. And then the fucking mayor shows up. You guys also, they were not exactly the cleanest sheriff or the cleanest mayor. So I'm like, who is this guy? I'm always getting paid in cash. And then I was like, one day I was like leaving. I was like, there's always a car outside this house. It's always watching this house. I'm like, oh, I'm going to be questioned. I'm going to be interrogated. So I had to cancel. I was like, I can no longer teach in person. I just saw myself them going, you know information. You're going to be like microphoned or something. And all they would hear is this man belp and fart. But like, you know, anyways, but I think like, was never a waste of my time because it really allowed me to go, hold on, like, let me understand that part of the business. So that when you came in to agency, we could really see like what a gold mine and what a great thing you had going and how you could elevate that.
I started like all Pilates instructors start, right? You have to do the observation hours and you have to do the practice hours and then you have to do some apprenticeship. So I feel like I've been in all of the parts except for actual studio owner. I have managed, I have supervised, I've trained other instructors. I've been the employee, I've been the independent contractor, I've been the person who rents studio space. I've been in all of the situations. And it's so funny what you're saying about, you know, these people. I have a file, not a digital file, an actual file folder filled with NDAs of things I have had to sign for the various people I have worked with over the last 34 years. And I'm always used to think, well, okay, I have to tell somebody where I'm at because if I disappear, no one will know.
Yes. And thank God for location services on the phones now, because now that's a thing, but that wasn't a thing when I was teaching at home. So it's like, okay, there wasn't even a signal up there. So I couldn't call for help if I wanted to. Yeah.
Totally.
Well, okay. So Tami-Adrian, we know you as an OPC teacher and we know you have it's been really cool and watching in the last 5 years is that you have been really not just solidifying your business, but like truly enjoying the business that you've created. I think that that's really unique. A lot of teachers keep thinking that, oh, I've reached this peak. Now I got to find another goal. I got to find another goal. Can you tell us like a little bit about what you do as a day-to-day gig? And then also like how you came to go, wow, I really like, this is really for me. Because I think a lot of people listening, even if they're not a Pilates instructor, can actually learn from like, oh, what maybe are the signs or the qualities or the feelings that make me go, oh, I'm actually fulfilled.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so let's start with the day-to-day. And then I want to tell you about like working with you and Brad and how that helped me come into just a completely different feeling about what I was doing. So a typical day-to-day for me is I will start the morning with my virtual private clients, some of whom are back east, so the timing works out perfectly for me. So once I finish those sessions, then I pack up the lunch bag. It literally looks like I'm going on a picnic because you're with me, you and Brad are with me. You know, I eat every 5 minutes. I take little tiny bites. I'm like a tiny bison. I graze all morning long, and I start heading out for the day to which client is on the roster for that day. And we have different things we might be working on. So sometimes I might have my golfers, my pickleball players, who have very particular goals. There are things that we are trying to do. So I have been trained in both classical and contemporary Pilates because I need to be able to spin on a dime to what someone is telling me at that moment. And I'm very big on what is your ultimate goal? If your ultimate goal is I'm going to my sister's wedding, I want to look great, I'm not the person for you. And I will find you an amazing person who will make that happen for you. I'm the person who, when you say, I need to get my handicap down, I need to be able to play a full 18 holes without my back hurting, and I'm going on a golf trip where I'm going to play 5 days in a row. Oh, now I have a vision. Let's do this. Let's go. Then I make sure I have breaks throughout the day. I'm very particular about where I'm teaching, the distance I'm teaching, because I can't be bebopping all over town all day. And there are times that I book into my day so that I can go for a walk. I teach in really beautiful parts of the Los Angeles West Side beach communities. So there's time to go for a walk. There's time to get my own workout in. There's time to sit down and eat real food. And I'm usually done by a fairly early part of the day. I don't actually work that many hours a week. And then maybe there's a beach walk with my husband, or my son's in university, so there's a phone call or FaceTime with him. And then there's my time where, what's the thing that fills me today? Do I want to do a meditation? It turns out I'm not the morning meditation person. It's not my jam at all.
To me, the morning is like, okay, the morning has started and I want to start with it.
Yes.
I find I am better in the afternoon going, okay, well, I don't actually want to do anything, so I'm going to procrastinate with meditation.
Yeah, exactly. And then 2 hours have passed. Yes, I have reached all the masters in the universe, but now I don't want to do anything. And I believe very strongly that your great day starts the night before. So there's always a part of my afternoon and evening where I am prepping for the next day. Either it's the food I'm preparing, or it's looking over who's on the schedule for the next day and where are we in progressing them to their goal. So I'm thinking ahead of what exercises I want to do, things like that. And then I also coach. So I have other instructors and also people who aren't Pilates instructors, massage therapists, anything you have that is a service that helps someone can be mobile.
Yeah.
And I might be on a coaching call speaking with someone about where they're at in their business and helping them get to their goal.
Yeah. So, because since you have done everything but own a studio, I've done all of it, but work at a franchise. So can you talk about how did you decide or know that going into homes actually is how you wanted to teach versus having people come to you? Because we sit on opposite sides. I'm like, you can come to me. But you're like, no, I can go here. And I go, is it just the beach walk? What made it so that you really like to go into people's homes?
So the first studio I ever taught at, Pilates Studio Pasadena, doesn't exist anymore because the parent company went bankrupt. And what we didn't know was it was like a compound of fitness. There was a private workout place here and a this and a that and a yoga studio and all these things that were in Old Town Pasadena, right where the Rose Bowl comes down the street. Not the Rose Bowl, the Rose Parade comes down the street. What we didn't know was that the Pilates studio was who was making money.
Oh.
And we were covering the payroll for all of the other workout facilities.
Whoa.
And sometimes our checks would bounce. And one day we found out doors are closed. We're done. But we all had keys. So I know that the statute of limitations have passed, so I'm totally fine talking about this. So who got together? We unlocked the studio at night. We unloaded all of the Pilates equipment, put it on the trucks, and drove it to someone who had just bought a home. They didn't have any furniture yet. And we okay, the dining room has all the wounded chairs, and the living room is going to have the caddy and a couple of reformers, and the back patio, put this. And there was literally something like a click. Oh, I'm in a house.
Oh.
I'm in a house doing Pilates. Now I'm doing it with 5 other instructors, and we worked for free. Because right before that company went out of business, we were selling packages.
Right. So all these people had paid
We'd had a big drive and all these people had just bought packages and then the door shut. And we didn't know that that big drive was their way of getting cash to cover the businesses. They knew they were going to go bankrupt.
Right.
They just didn't tell us. So then I had to work for free to train out all of those packages that I had personally sold because now my reputation was on the line.
Right. Right.
And as we got into studios and got built, people would always say, can you come? Could you come to my house? Could you do this at my house? Could you do this? And it started with one person and then another and another. And I realized there is a connection that you get to make in that private in-home setting. People will tell me things that they will never tell me in the studio because there are other people in the studio. Or if I was teaching a large group class, even a small, let's say a foursome or a trio, there's no time to talk. We are here because the entire group is trying to move. So I didn't always get to understand their history, their surgeries, their injuries, whatever it was they were working towards. And also, too, their blocks. We all have blocks of what we think we cannot do. We all have limitations we're holding on to. And sometimes you just need that one-on-one, eyes on you to say, you're great where you are. You're doing fantastic. Please, let's not measure you against the 19-year-old on the mat next to you. Let's measure you against you.
Yes. Oh, I do love that. I mean, I agree. Like, people are a little more comfortable in their homes. You can also then actually see like their setups and you can go, okay, so you said it was the Pilates last week that hurt your back, but do you see like this slope that you, or like, can I look at this chair that you're sitting on at your desk? Like, that's not helpful. You know what I mean? So you do get a more insight, but also they do have a bit more focus because they're not distracted by the person and the other reformer who's talking too loudly or who's doing crazy things and they think they should be doing crazy things. It's more personalized in that way as well. I love that. That's so cool. What a funny way of getting into like knowing like, oh, I could teach at a house. And then because you had kept up with those sessions that they're like, oh, can you teach me at my home? Because now they're seeing, oh, I'm in a home. I could do this at my home.
Yeah. They're like, wait, you can fit a reformer here? Yes, absolutely. You can fit a reformer here. And you know what? You don't even need the reformer. Honestly, everything we're doing on the reformer, I'm telling you, if I put you on the mat, you're going to shake like a leaf in the wind. You do not know how hard it is.
Yeah.
And once we got to that point too of sharing that, and here's the other thing I find that is really interesting. Yes, the personalized attention, there is nothing like it. But the biggest problem I solve for my clients is time and convenience. There are certain people. I tend to have CEOs, chairmen of the boards, and their families. For them to spend an hour in traffic trying to get to a studio, then circle around looking for parking, then finally do their workout and have to repeat the drive back home. It's hours of their time that they just do not have available.
Well, they're not, and they can't be consistent because then they're only can do it on a good week. And then they're frustrated because all of those things. So like people like them, they're going to have to pay for that time and convenientness of you coming to their home, but now they can be consistent.
Exactly. And really, that's the secret, isn't it? That's the secret sauce. If you want to get results in what you're doing, it's the consistency.
Yeah. Yeah. It made me think like, as you were talking, when I always thought you had to have a big studio. Probably it's very similar to you. Like the first studio I ever worked at was a big studio. The first time I went to a Pilates studio with equipment had multiple reformers and all the things. And so I just thought, oh, you have to have all of that. And in LA, all the famous teachers were famous studios, all had multiple of everything. And I'm like, I'll never own a studio because I have student loans, I have all this, I need all these things. And it was when I had put myself in a group of people in a community that I saw one of my friends had made a private space for herself where there was just one of everything. And I was like, oh, I could have a private studio. I could have I could just teach the private because I only teach privates and a couple semi-private. So like I could just do this. So I think it's really important for anyone, no matter who you are listening, like it's important that we are inspired by other people sometimes because we get blinders on of like, this is my experience. This is the only way that works. This is the way I've seen that work. So I have to do it this way. And when we're exposed to other environments or other ways of people doing it, then we can go, oh, I'm not going to do it just like her, but I could do it like this, or I could do it like that, right? Like we kind of need that. We need that in the community that we're in.
Exactly. I love what you're saying. It's making me think of the other thing I wanted to mention. When I started working with you and Brad, I didn't realize that what I was doing had a system. It was just what I was doing because nobody else was really doing it in this manner. And to then have support of someone saying, no, what you're doing is actually a thing.
Yeah. You're doing a thing. It's a thing that you're doing.
You're doing a thing. And there seems to be a way that you're doing the thing. And we're going to help you do the thing better. And we're going to teach you how to structure it so that it's repeatable and that you can take pressure off of yourself and that you can have support and that we're here when you need us. And you know, there was a guy who used to always say, you're trying to have the panoramic view, but you're at the foothill of the mountain. So you have to climb a little, and then you'll see a little more. And then you enjoy the view, you celebrate the view, do a little dance, and now climb higher. And each time that you climb and hold at that level for just a moment, just to enjoy it, you see more possibilities, and eventually you start having a wider view and you start seeing, oh my gosh, I can do this with that. During the pandemic, talking about that time, one of my favorite people to work with had a stroke. So I can't get to him. We rehabbed him virtually because, this online thing really works. And it was a little bit of convincing me and convincing him.
Yeah.
But guess what? He was back out there playing golf, doing all the things. The deficits were seriously down.
Yeah.
And I needed that view. I needed that lift to view, lift to view, repeat.
Well, and what I'm hearing you're saying is like, we all need someone to go, oh, you're doing a really great job here. And if we do this, now you've got a system and now it's repeatable and you're not wasting your time. Or you also even need to see like from other people's perspective, what they're doing. Oh, I love that for them. And then that also helps you solidify like you like what you're doing. Like we all need it wherever we are because we can get so closed off. And then running a business is hard. The business is hard. I've said this a few times now, and I will keep repeating it because it really blessed my heart. Like when someone in our agency asked the Pocket Lesley, which is like a bot of me, to train 10 million of my words, 10 years of coaching. And
I
she's
love
like,
Pocket Lesley because she's my size.
yeah. She's like, have you ever had an obstacle in your business? And it's like, yeah, daily.
Yeah, like you mean this last hour?
Yeah, daily. And so when you have someone to go, oh my God, what you're doing here is really amazing. It helps you go, oh, okay, it is amazing. I just am having a hard time right now. I'm at the foothills and I can't get to the panoramic view where other people are right now. And so, we at agency are so excited because we have helped thousands of businesses in this industry run things the way that they want to. And one of the things we've celebrated along the way is like each year that we've known you, we've watched you run your business that supports you and your family. And I think that's what's so cool because it's not just because you go into people's homes that your business supports your family. It's because you were intentional about what your goals are and how your business needed to support that. And then we could support you in doing that. And year after year, and now here you are, not only in 5 years, you put systems together, you have a very thriving business. And like you mentioned, now you get to coach other service people to have a business that does it the way that you do it. And
absolutely.
That can we talk about the be it till you see it for that? Like was there mental hurdles you had to do? Was it just like, how did you, because I was so excited when you're like, I'm doing this. I'm like, yeah, you should.
The hurdles were, oh my gosh, the hurdles were real. Remember you used to do the videos, The Struggle is Real?
Yeah.
Oh, the hurdles are real. It's you were talking about being in the tunnel. We're working so hard towards something that we believe is the only thing. And I don't think I have anyone right now who is exclusively mobile teaching. They are either business owners, they own a gym, they own a studio. They are also teaching like community classes, say at the Y or at a gym someplace, or they're renting studio space. And now they're adding mobile training as an extension, as another service. I mean, and that's the thing I think for people to understand, you're providing a service. You're not just teaching a class, you are a service provider. So you can provide as many services as your heart dreams up. Let's make that happen for you. And there's a gentleman that I'm working with right now, and he had become almost exclusively online and big classes. And he hadn't had the one-on-one connection with his students in a long time because everything was far away. And when I say online, not live, I mean pre-recorded classes. And he was so burnt out. I don't like this. I don't want to record any more classes. I don't want to walk into a room of 30 people anymore. And I said, you're the reason it's not in your heart is because your heart is not reaching anyone.
Yeah.
So we took, starting one day, one day of your schedule, we're going to make this your mobile training day. This is your I'm out in the field. And we're going to start letting people know, just pick amongst your favorites. We're going to start letting people know you're available. He's now having to hire another trainer because he has this established brand. But now people are like, oh, you can come to me too? And you have a kind of a signature thing that you do, and you can do it in my home with me. Let's do this. So it's how you would like your business to be. It's not give up your studio, give up your gym, never book massages at the hotels ever again. It's how can we incorporate this into what you're doing so that you can expand? You also get to charge more. Just saying.
Yeah. I was going to ask you, the number one thing that we see people do wrong when they go into people's homes is
discount the price.
Yeah. You are. Yeah. And if you're like, how do I know what to charge? Well, stay tuned. We have help for you there. But like, yeah, it's convenient for them. It is not necessarily convenient for you for so many reasons, because booking back to back doesn't exist. Like in my studio, in my home, like people can come every hour on the hour, and I can fit 4 people in 4 hours and be done, right?
Exactly.
You do not fit 4 people in 4 hours, so when you are working with people in their home, you have to charge. There is a higher cost to that because they are paying for convenience. Just like when I order food to be delivered, it is more expensive than when I order it at the restaurant.
It's a premium service.
Yeah.
And you are bringing your knowledge to someone. So yes, now the premium is even higher because you actually know what you're doing. Of course, anybody can take, oh my gosh, when I call them the Pinterest workout plan.
Oh, okay. I call them Instagram workout plans, but yes, anyone can do that.
They start culling exercises from all these different places, and they put them together, and then they wonder why they're not getting the results, or now they've injured themselves, or they're burnt out and they don't want to do it. And there's a reason for that. People, it's like New Year's resolutions. Any promise you make to yourself, that is a promise broken. That is like...
Yeah, because you need the accountability of someone else. And you also need their guidance. We all need it. I mean, I pay a Pilates instructor to teach me. I can teach myself, and I do multiple days a week. And 2 days a week, I'm held accountable to a full hour with someone watching me to give me feedback, because left to my own devices, I'm going to check I'm going to change this podcast. Oh, look at that flower outside. We all need it, right? We all need it. We're laughing because we all need it. Even coaches like you and I have coaches for things that we do, because we all kind of need this, and there is an investment there. And yes, it does mean like some things can be inaccessible to people, but also for every single one of you listening, no matter what your business is, you cannot solve the world's problems. You can solve a problem for someone that feels like it's their whole world. You can do that, but you got to like really dial it in. And I think like what you do so well, Tami, is there is a slice of the pie of people who would prefer it to be convenient for them so they can be consistent. And you can, if you're a teacher, a massage therapist, whatever, you could be the person who does that. That's your expertise.
Absolutely.
So Tami, we're super excited. We're gonna let the cat out of the bag a little bit of what we're doing here.
Let's do it.
So we at Profitable Pilates truly love being able to help teachers of any background true, like run a business that works for them. Like we do not do templates. We have a formula. I should say we have two. We have a scheduling formula and we have a pricing formula, but all of those require your goals to go into the top for it to filter through. So there is not a single, even if the price answer is the same as someone else's, like what went through and all the different ways you get there is very, very different. So we're super excited because you do what you do so well. And the world is missing an expert like you. So tell everyone what we've got going on, what we've got planned.
So I have a method called the Have Skills Will Travel Method.
Yes, 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 yes.
Because really, that's what you need to be a mobile instructor. The skill set you already have and some gas in your car. Let's go. In between those two things are a whole list of things you need to know and need to be doing to make sure that it is indeed profitable and that you are safe and that you are happy and your client is happy. So I'm taking my one-on-one 3-month coaching program, and we are creating a special group coaching program that is just for profitable Pilates, we'll have agency members there too. And it will live in the profitable Pilates universe. So excited. And we're going to do this as an 8-week program.
Oh, I love this because we all have 8 weeks it can dedicate to doing a dream. We all have it because every dream takes a long time anyways. 8 weeks is like a fraction.
Yeah. And it doesn't matter where you're starting from. Wherever you are in your business and thinking about doing this, or you're already doing this, it works where you're at. Jump in where you're at.
Yeah. And I think, and I just want to say, like, if you're like, oh my gosh, you guys, I can just make sure I charge more and I can just go. Yes, you could. And then you get to learn a lot of weird things the hard way. I'm sure Tami was like, oh my God, Lesley, you went into some random house on the top of Hillcrest.
My heart, as soon as you were telling me that, and I was like, oh my God.
You guys, I just listened the other day.
Did you have a safety buddy?
Yes.
Did you?
I mean, people knew where I was going, and I did tell the ambassadors team, okay, my people know where I'm going. I mean, it's in here. However, I will say, like, I did listen to like Murder in the Hollywood Hills, the Dateline, and I was like, oh my God. That is like, I can't believe that doesn't happen more often because like so many women are offered, oh, there's a modeling gig and it's the top of this house because everything happens to people. So anyways, there are so many different things, not just safety, but also, and not just pricing that you have to be thinking about.
Oh, yes.
And when it comes to doing this, so that one, it still works for you. And two, everyone wins. The clients win, but your business wins because you are allowed to be successful in your business and achieve wins for other people. So if you are someone in the service-based business or a Pilates instructor who's interested in seeing how this service can be added to your business, you might even decide you don't want to do it afterwards. And that's fine too, because now you solve that without having to sell a package and then go fulfill it. So you can go to Profitable Pilates website. We have it's prfit.biz/events, and you can get on the wait list for this. But we're going to take a brief break and then find out Tami-Adrian's beit action items and also where else you can just like kind of stalk her in a good way.
Absolutely.
All right, Tami-Adrian, where do you hang out? Because you also do give out great advice, for free on things that you hang out on.
I hang out on Instagram. That is my jam. I am at tami.pilates.rehab, and it's TAMI. And then you can also find me at tag, my name, Tami-Adrian George, tagpilates.com. Head over to the website, links, move around, dance around in there, and sign up on the wait list. We're so excited to have this group together so that we can be learning and growing together.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to be so, so amazing. And I just want to say, just like you could, if you need to, because I've been in a place where I've had to cull free advice together. Absolutely you can. But at some point, if all you've ever done is cull, just pull it together and bounce around from free advice to free advice. I would say that investing in something like it's an 8-week program is it's a risk-free type of environment because you're not committing for longer than that. At agency, we do make people commit for 6 months. And the reason is it's like, it does take time.
Yes.
But for this particular topic, you can in 8 weeks get your systems in place and really understand, like, is this the thing I want to do and how do I do it right? So from the beginning, you don't have like, oh, I'm undercharging that person, so now I've got to go back and tell them a new rate, even though I've been, we want to make sure it's beneficial for everyone. So get on the wait list either on Tami's website or on prfit.biz/events. We'll get that taken care of. Tami, you are so wonderful. I mean, Brad and I just adore getting to spend time with you. We always learn new things. Your life is its own adventure. So I really hope like at some point you'll be a child author, which is like The Adventures of Tami. You know what I mean? Like I just feel like there's so many different things you could do. But can you give everyone some beit action items, bold, executable, intrinsic, or targeted steps they can take to be it till they see it?
Okay, this is one of my favorite things. And before I have to say, I love you and Brad so much. It has been the best adventure I have been on with the two of you. And I'm so glad we're still having more adventures together. It's just fantastic. Okay, everyone has their phone and you set alarms on your phone for things that you don't particularly want to do. I set alarms on my phone randomly throughout the day that pump me back up. So where it says label, instead of putting wake up, walk dog, things like that, I put, how are you so amazing? I put, congratulations, you are crushing it. How are you doing this? That's what's on my alarm system.
Oh my God, I'm obsessed. I'm I'm going to have alarms just for no reason whatsoever. I don't even like being disturbed, but I'm going to get myself disturbed.
Now, if I have to set an alarm because I have to wake up early, I'm catching a flight, something like that, I will say, woohoo, you're traveling today. Let's go. That's what it says while the alarm is going off. So when it goes off on your phone, instead of, oh my God, I have to be up and get on the flight, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm traveling. Let's go.
Oh my God, this is going to change my whole life because I often wake up going, I don't know where I am and what day today is. But if my alarm didn't say wake up, it would say, I could have it say something else. You know, like
you are in Singapore.
Yeah.
Aren't you lucky?
Go get that coffee, babe. Go get it. Yeah. This is a wonderful because, you know, there's so many different things people want to remind themselves of. And if you're unable to have Post-its all over your house, it could be alarms. What a cool way to do it.
Because the reminders, if I set a reminder on my phone, I don't do it.
Yeah.
I don't do it.
No, it's in my work or it doesn't get done. I don't need an alarm going, it's time to do this. Be like, ignore. Yeah. Oh, Tami, I love that. That's so everyone can do that right now. Okay, we want screenshots of the alarm going off. We want them to send it to Tami.Pilates.rehab. We want you to send it to the Beit Pod. We want you to share this with a friend who needs to hear it. Maybe if you are not a Pilates instructor who wants to go in home, but you know someone who does, they need to hear this because here is the deal. When your friends complain about how their life sucks, you have to listen. And you know, those people, they repeat it. And what if you could change that so then you guys could talk about what's exciting.
I'll listen for you.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll listen to the complaints for you.
Tami and I listen. Tami and I that is why we have people who are like an agency and they're like, oh, my friend's talking with this. I'm like, why are you helping them? Not that I don't want you to be a generous person, but you invested in this. Mm-hmm. So you can focus on you. If they are unwilling to invest in themselves and their business, you can be a great friend. You can say, oh, it sounds like you've been working on that for a long time. Have you thought about getting help? Like that's still helpful. That's still listening. But y'all, we have all been trained that, oh, we're not a good friend if we don't just like give all the advice. No, you have to sometimes focus on you and be like, I'm here for you. And here are some resources that have helped me.
I think you're being a better friend by saying, okay, you have to take action. I want you to take a step that is truly for you. I'm investing in me and God, I want to see you invest in you. Let's do that.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. I love that. Obviously, we could talk forever because we do. We have so much fun. So Tami-Adrian George, OPC teacher, incredible coach for in-service home, skills will travel people, and best at the game when it comes to helping people reach their goals and all that you do with your teaching. So thank you for being here. Everyone, how are you going to use these tips in your life? We want to know. Tell us, and until next time, be it till you see it.
That's all I got for this episode of the Be It Till You See It podcast. One thing that would help both myself and future listeners is for you to rate the show and leave a review. And follow or subscribe for free wherever you listen to your podcast. Also, make sure to introduce yourself over at the Be It Pod on Instagram. I would love to know more about you. Share this episode with whoever you think needs to hear it. Help us and others be it till you see it. Have an awesome day.
Be It Till You See It is a production of the Bloom Podcast Network. If you want to leave us a message or a question that we might read on another episode, you can text us at +1 310 905 5534 or send a DM on Instagram at BeItPod.
It's written, filmed, and recorded by your host, Lesley Logan, and me, Brad Crowell.
It is transcribed, produced, and edited by the Epic team at Disenyo.co.
Our theme music is by Ali at Apex Production Music, and our branding by designer and artist Gianfranco Cioffi.
Special thanks to Melissa Solomon for creating our visuals.
Also to Angelina Herrico for adding all of our content to our website. And finally, to Meredith Root for keeping us all on point and on time.